Hello everyone, what's going on? I wish for all of you a blessed Friday, a blessed weekend. Tonight we will speak with a friend of mine, a very spiritualized guy. He's a yogi, he's a spiritual teacher, a renowned healer, a beautiful person full of love to give to humanity. His name is Shiva Siddhananda. So let me just add my friend Shiva here. Shiva Siddhananda. Shiva.
Namaste.
Namaste, my brother.
How are
How
you?
are you? I'm doing well today. And you?
Great. It's all good. Thank you so much for inviting me to this
Of
to this
course, my
session.
friend. Of course.
This.
Well, for me, it's an honor to speak with you today, and I'm sure our audience will love it. We love to meet you, to speak with you, and to listen the learnings we have to share with them.
Yeah, I saw there were some interesting questions that we can go through, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So, so let's start then.
Yeah.
Um, please tell me a little bit about yourself, about your spiritual path. Um, where are
Sure.
you? Where are you learning? What are you learning? And
Yeah.
tell me.
So I can go a little bit back in time, and my spiritual path actually started with in the shamanic way. So this has been like the ground for me. Shamanism, um, connection with the Mayans, the Incas, and the spiritual medicine, of course, as how we connected. So this started around, my awakening started around 2006. And from that on until 2011, I got activated for healing energy. And it was around the time when my dad was dying and sick in cancer. So then I started to use this healing to help him and when he was in the hospital. And after he was passing away, I got the realization of not being afraid of death anymore. And this brought me deeper into the what we call the Indian style of teaching, the Yogi way. You know, I was starting to learn the Bhagavad Gita and starting to do deeper meditation, doing more healing work for people. So since 2011, I mostly done healing work for people, helping people with certain, diseases, pains, and so on. But if we go back to three years, it's been more about a spiritual transformation to help people, develop the mind, develop physical health, develop detachment, intuition, and to really, really come into this understanding of who we are. So this is the core teaching today, is to really help people to get into the clear understanding of who we are and to get rid of all types of suffering, and as you also know, it causes the suffering that we have, the pain that we have, and things like that. It comes from a more subtle level, right? If we
Sure.
go and take a look in our astral body, we can see how impure it is. And from there, we can start to work on that energy to start to purify our consciousness. And 2 years ago, 2 year and 4 months, I met my spiritual master, my guru, Swami Purohit. He's a Kriya Yoga master. So the practice that I do today and part of my teaching is Kriya Yoga, holistic Kriya Yoga. And from when I met him, everything changed in my life. It's like how we say, your mom and dad give you your material birth and the master give you your spiritual birth. So
That's
that is all
beautiful.
I can say. Yeah, that is all I can say. When I met my master, everything changed. You know, you think that you know things. You know, the ego comes in sometimes, like, yeah, I know so much, and but when the master comes, he kills you. So he really like puts you into the right practice in the right direction. So this is what I also sharing to people what he taught me and what transformation I've been through. So I'm also sharing this to students today. And what I will do later today is that I will do an energy transmission for an activation of the third eye. So if you stay to the end, you can experience this energy transmission. So I'm looking forward to that. So that is
That's
like a short summary about a little bit about I've been through to where I am today. Yeah.
that's awesome. It's beautiful. You know, as much as we learn, as much we understand, we have much more things to learn. The learning will never end, you know.
Yeah.
And so, look, I prepared some questions that I would like to ask you to even to learn how do you think, how do you see life.
Mm.
Um, One of the questions is, what role should spirituality plays in people's life? I mean, right now people seems to have a lot of ideas about religions, dogmas, politics, but seems like there is not a lot of spirituality. So, what the role
Yeah.
spirituality plays in people's life?
Yeah. So what we see today is that people are living from mind. People are not living from heart. People are not totally connected with soul. People think that if I am programmed into this type of living, this type of idea, this religion, this dogma, this book, you know, then this is the truth. But we need to have deeper experience, right? We need to have an experience. I was talking one day to this guy, and he's a Muslim, right? And he believed totally in the book, the Quran. But I asked him, have you had any experiences, of the book? And he told me no. Then I asked him, how can you know that it's true? It's in the book. So sometimes we have this idea that it's in the book, someone is saying it, but we need to have the proper understanding of it. Otherwise, there will just be nada. Just where I'm talking today, you can find it on Google, you can find it in books, but what we need is the experience. And the experience comes from a deeper practice, for example, meditation. So what we need to do is connect with heart, connect with soul, and the soul lives in heart. But as we are in mind, we cannot get this spiritual connection. So when we start to do spiritual practice, we become a spiritual practitioner. And when this spiritual practice develops, we can become a spiritual person. Most of the human beings today are living like animals. We eat, we sleep, and we fuck. And we go around like this. Yeah? And then we go to the work. And then we do this, and then we do that, right? We have a lot of desires also, right? Desires are connected to the senses. The senses is connected to mind. So as long as you are a slave under your desires, under your mind, you're not free. How strong your belief may be, you are not free. And
Yeah.
this is mind. This is living like an animal, not a fully human being. So the spiritual progress, the spirituality starts from the throat and up. Most people today don't have energy above the navel. You know, the energy is locked in the navel, it doesn't go up. So depending on our conditioning, our past, we build a belief, right? But if we don't erase that belief into nothing, into pure awareness, we can never have the true understanding about reality. So spirituality is a very important role in life, but most people are not connected to this energy. But sometimes we think we are, but we are not. It's just mind, ego, and ideas. So this I want to put out because I think it's very important, because I see many, many people who think they are awake and going to spiritual evolution, but are very, very lost. So that's why I will always say, keep meditation as the most important tool in your daily life. That will bring you into spirituality.
Yeah, I also think that the the distance from nature,
Mm.
it's also bringing us away from spirituality. Um, I mean, you know, the world is growing, cities are getting bigger and complex,
Mm.
and nature, forests are being devastated,
Yeah.
and we are losing this connection with nature. And I mean, I'm from Brazil. We have Amazonia here. I've been in Amazon forest so many times in life, and when I step there, when I step in Amazon forest, I feel the spirituality from my foot,
Mm.
you know.
Yeah.
And I believe this the world growing as it is, and people is getting every day more away from nature. It's bringing us away also from spirituality, you know.
Yeah.
There is a question here, just a second, from Roman Psymed. He's asking, can you say, please, what kind of meditation do you speak?
Yeah. So there are very there are a lot of meditations today. There are so many, many meditations out there, but I teach a very, very simple practice of meditation. And to start with, just we want to always have like the spine straight, because when the spine is straight, the energy can move up in the spine and up to, first and foremost, the point back here, which is called the Medulla Oblongata. In the Bible, it says is the mouth of God. Is here we connect with our intuition, because this is also connected to this. You know, it's back here and it's connected to this point here.
Mm-hmm.
When this Medulla Oblongata is awakened, we can start to have higher spiritual experiences. So
Okay.
what we need to do is we need to connect with the breathing. The breathing is the key. So we connect with the breath and we breathe from the back of the spine up to the medulla oblongata and back down. In and up, in and up, in and up and down, several times. And when you do this for certain moments, you can start to feel like a tingling sensation in the spine. It's like you're having ants crawling in the spine. So then you know that it really starts to move. And when we connect with the stillness, because what we seek when we meditate is to go beyond mind, to transcend the mind, right? And this,
Right.
like in many, many traditions, this is the biggest part of spiritual evolution, is to transcend the mind, to go beyond mind, you know? So you can sit still, you don't feel the body, you have no thoughts whatsoever, and you just go. up, you know. So to take it easy is to do the breath up and down the spine. And when you have done it for a while, just let it go. Just stop the breathing and just put your attention either in the third eye or in the heart. And when we sit for 23 minutes, one process, one cycle in the subconscious mind is processed. And subconscious mind is connected to your past, your conditioning. So every time you sit for at least 3 minutes, you will process, and in this way we process all the thoughts in the subconscious mind so we can have this relief of total silence. So this is one way of doing meditation. But I would recommend everyone here who are new to meditation to start with the breath, because breath is connected to mind. And when we start to connect with the breath, we can slow down the mind, because we have 50 to 60,000 thoughts a day, and you have around 23 to 25,000 breaths per day. So by slowing down the breaths, you're also slowing down the lifespan, and you're also slowing down the mind. So that
Okay.
is what I would recommend, is to sit comfortably and just breathe up and down in the spine. And if it's hard to, like in the beginning, to have one point of concentration on the breath in the spine, just be with the breath. And then find the focus point when the breath is stabilized and you feel that you have one concentration in the breath, go to one single point, third eye or heart.
Beautiful. Let me ask you, do you believe in reincarnation? Do you believe in life after that?
Oh yeah, yeah. So this is, if we go into the full essence of everything, there is no one born and there is no one dying. There is only a transition of bodies, because this physical plane that we are experiencing is just an illusion. And if we take a step deeper, we can also see like the past life, this life, and future lives are happening simultaneously at the same time. Because time is something we have created here, right? So yes, I do believe in reincarnation. I have seen many of my own past lives. So by my own experience, I can say I believe in reincarnation, yes. So we are changing. When the karma is collected for each lifetime and the destiny is fulfilled for this lifetime, we leave. And then we take another form. And then when everything is connected for the coming reincarnation, then we come into another body. And then the planets is on a certain point and the incarnation happens. And then we come back again and we take with us the three past lives, which forms us in this life. So all the subconscious karmic patterns are with us. And on top of that, we have 7 generations from mother and father, which is also connected to our karma. Sometimes we have like bad health in the family. Sometimes there is a very, very poor generation in form of how we think, in form of money. Sometimes there is a very high spiritual evolution in the family. So all this is vibration. And if you want to change this bad karma, we need to do spiritual practice for 3 generations. If I do it, my son do it, and his kids is doing it, we will erase all that negative from the genes, from the family.
Great. I was going to ask you that because, I mean, I see many people. Why are we here for? What's the meaning of life? So I see many people that comes to this world and cross so many traumas, so many
mm,
sufferings, so many bad situation, hard life. But at the same time, I see people that comes to this life like super emotionally stable since young, with a just a happy life. So is it about karma? Why this big difference between people? We are in the same world, you know. I mean, some
mm.
countries are always in wars.
Yeah.
Fortunately, my country is a very peaceful country. We don't have wars here.
Mm.
We have other kind of problems, but not wars. Wars is pretty aggressive. So, but why those people reincarnate in a country with so many wars? What are they paying for? So,
Yeah, so this is a very good question, and this is a very common question also by many people, like, why is this so unfair? Sometimes we think like he has a good life. I know back in the days he was saying like the good die young and the bad live forever, all these types of things. But the thing is that everything is according to our destiny, and our destiny is a part of our karma. So karma is a part of destiny, destiny is a part of karma. So let's say you here now, you are having this spiritual life, you're doing progress spiritual in the spiritual field, and you're helping people. So you're gaining great karma in the spiritual field. So the coming time you reincarnate, you will come into with a lot of grace in the spiritual field. So you will probably be born in a place where you have this possibility to practice spirituality. Well, let's say we have some other person here who has killed people, who do many, many bad things, and so on, right? And hasn't really experienced and learned it on a certain level. Then that person need to or that soul need to reincarnate on a specific place to learn for what is left or connected to that karma. So when someone is born, let's say someone is born in the Middle East, where there has been a lot of more wars and stuff like this, right? So those people have a past also. So they now are in this war zone to grow, to experience suffering, to take themselves to the next level. And sometimes we can take big questions in this, like, but why did I choose this life? I have even people from Sweden saying, why did I choose this hard life? I was raped, I was beaten, all these things. But all is according to our destiny and our growth. So the planet Earth is like a school. So we are here and we are learning. And in the beginning, we are like children, and then we grow up. And as we mature spiritually, we understand that everything that happens to us is not happening to us, the real self. It's only happening to the body, to the mind, to the emotions, which is not the true self. Then things can still happen, but we are not there anymore to suffer from it. So this is the self-realization and the God realization. When this comes in, we don't suffer anymore. Things can happen, and as we do spiritual practice and the spiritual growth moves on, we erase karma. The technique I just gave you in meditation will erase karma. We breathe in prana and out apana. So apana removes all bad toxins and karma, and prana moves in new, fresh, high level of consciousness. So it's about that everyone who is incarnating here need to grow. You have someone who is incarnated as an elephant, someone as a monkey or a duck, and then when they evolve, they move into the next level, so the human being is the most evolved form. An elephant can't do this, what a human being can. Even if, you know, they're more connected to nature than we are, they're more like living more natural, but they don't have the same consciousness as we can have. We can have direct connection with God. Animals are just using their instinct. We can think, we can learn not to think. So there is no injustice. You just see the injustice in your mind based on your conditioning. But if you're not in the conditioning, if you stand in the essence of everything, you see clearly that this is just a time play, and I'm just a part of it. I'm just a part of God's plan, doing my part.
Beautiful. Um, I'm 45 years old, and I mean, in the world I'm living today, I see that the earth is crossing such a weird moment. We are
Hmm.
in a very sensitive line. I mean, many I see, especially on the internet, on comments and everything, I see many people in conflict
Yeah,
because of different point of views, usually driven by their ego. And but at the same time, at this right moment, I also see people awakening to spirituality.
yeah,
So there is some duality on it. So what do you think about it?
yeah. So what we have to understand is when we live from mind, we live in duality. So this just means that we are not connected again to the soul. We are connected to mind, we are connected to ego, lust, anger, greed, attachment, ego, jealousy, fear, doubt, anxiety. All these things are what are driving people today. So today we can have one person talking, what's going on today is like this thing that we put inside of our body. And some people are for it and some people are against it. And now people can just not accept each other. Okay, he wants to do it, that's fine. He doesn't want to do it, that's fine. No, we are like clashing. And the thing is that Paramahamsa Yogananda's guru, Sri Yukteswar, he did a calculation of, because we have what we call yugas, like times. We have heard about the Kali Yuga, the dark age. So there is Kali Yuga, and then there is something called Dwapara Yuga. And according to his calculation, he calculated that we are now in Dwapara Yuga. And Dwapara Yuga means duality. And we can see so much duality going on right now in the world. So if we want to take his expertise in consideration about what's going on a higher state, we can see that we are drawn into this duality. And if we go back to Kali Yuga, some people will say that Kali Yuga is still now, but this is according to his explanation. Then if we go back, you can see when Jesus lived, there was a darker age on earth, right? And
Yeah,
it has become lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter because you say that people are waking up, right? We're having this conscious evolution. You can see today we are more vegetarians, more people are practicing yoga, meditation, plant medicine, we are doing mindfulness, we are thinking more consciously, we're doing the law of attraction. If you go back 30 years, it wasn't there in the same way
yeah,
as it is today. And if we look at technology, it wasn't there if we go back a few years, right?
right.
So this is also how the evolution goes in the material plane and the evolution goes in the spiritual plane.
Yeah,
But what we have to be careful about is to don't fall into the trap of the mind and the ego. Because those who are doing this thing at the moment, they know that if we put this here and this here, people will fight. So we cannot be so stupid. We have to use this conscious awareness
yeah,
to be aware of everything. Don't go into those silly games.
yeah.
Be aware of things. Be aware about this side, be aware about this side, but don't go emotionally into it because mind, ego comes and there will be clash.
Of course.
You lose
Yeah,
your peace.
be aware. I mean, be conscious require efforts
Yes.
and makes us tired to be conscious. And many people doesn't want to be tired. They want to stay in the comfort zone.
Yeah.
And but I, as you said, I've seen the spiritual movement growing since the last years. I believe the technologies of internet today is helping to spread the
Mhm.
message about that there is a spirit inside us. There is love inside us, and
It's-
I see that the thing is changing. I don't know if my daughters or the children of my daughters will see a super spiritualized world, but I'm sure that in a few decades, spirituality will be very will be, I mean, something super spread around the world. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, we can see, as long as we work with ourselves on a daily basis, because you were telling me like you become tired of this. And this is what I see also many people who have incarnated with a very, very high energy, with a very, very high consciousness. They it's very easy for them to become into drugs or substances and become addicted to it. Maybe sex, maybe caffeine, maybe alcohol, maybe different types of drugs that pushes you down because we don't have the energy to hold this high energy. That's why you become tired, because you are so conscious and this society is so messed up. It's not fitted for a very, very high conscious living being. So sometimes it can be very, very hard for us to adapt into the society. And that's why we are adding those things. We are pushing down our emotions, pushing down the mind and our awareness just to be a little bit high or go away a little bit from reality. So this is also something we need to have a look at. And as long as we are having a good intention in heart, we can always create from that space. And everything happens here and now. So if you have a good connection with heart, good intention, and if more people have the same, we will create another reality. As more people waking up, more people are connecting to this energy. Slowly by slowly, things happening. But some people don't accept the darkness. There's darkness at night, there's light at day. Both exist within us and without. So we have to accept that it may be a little dark right now on planet and may become even darker. We don't know. But if it does, it's just a part of the cleansing process. It's like when you, as you know, having a deep ayahuasca experience, it can become very, very dark and very, very hard. But it's a purpose to it, right?
Yeah.
Everything within is also happening without. So there's always this connection. So we have to learn to become more aware and work on that part. When you gain enough energy, brother, you have enough awareness to always be conscious. It's about learning to store more prana in the body, more life force in the body.
Gotcha. And both are necessary. The dark and the night and the light is necessary. It's the
Yeah,
balance of life, you know.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And out of darkness was born the light.
Yeah, yeah. As much dark as the night, for sure the sun will come up next morning, you know.
Exactly. It's just that if we look at melanin, if we look at the skin of Africans, they have a very dark skin, but they absorb the light from the sun more and give it back to the planet.
Of
So this is
course.
what deep darkness is doing, this melanin. So we can see there is mathematics science behind everything. There is a very, very structured plan from God into every pore cell of our being. So I'm just happy to be alive. Happy to be here in this
Me
moment.
too.
If we can just appreciate, that would be very good.
Beautiful. Look, let's talk a bit about ayahuasca.
Mhm.
I know you had some experiences with this medicine from South America.
Yes.
Um, I mean, ayahuasca for me is something ultra special, completely changed my life.
Mm.
Um, and I would like to know about you, what the experience with ayahuasca brought to you, what changed in your life, what showed you, what taught you. I mean, because it's a very interesting case. You have this spiritual side so developed. I mean, you, spirituality is your life. And also you found ayahuasca and had this experience. So what those two things together made with yourself?
Yeah, so I have had two ceremonies, and both were like, let's say, light and dark. So I had first, the experience was very, very beautiful. It was the most beautiful experience I ever had, because I went so deep and I saw so many, light beings, and I could see how the first teaching it gave me was that I could see how my healing energy really worked. And I could see how the ayahuasca plant was working in the form of healing. And I could see that my healing that comes through me worked the same way as the ayahuasca from spirit. So I could see this. And I have those deep experiences. I remember the day after I was going to a workshop because I was working as an assistant for a guy. But I was up all night having my beautiful experiences. And when I came to his workshop, it was like my awareness were so big that I could do before the session. I was like, yeah, let's sit here and learn. I need to learn these things. But the day after, I was sitting there and I was like, poof, I know all this. I was so peaceful, so harmful. It was an amazing experience. And if I go to the next one, then I experience more darkness from within. And I believe this session was a little bit darkness because as I work as an energy healer and I'm very, connected to other people's energies, I know that a part of my experience was also the participants that I noticed, but I know that a lot of darkness came out of me. So I was in this experience, and because of my earlier practice of meditation, because you go into this state when you feel like you're losing yourself, it's taking over because it's so powerful, and it's like, wow, this plant is because it takes you so deep. And then I started to see, demons purging blood. And I was like purging myself. I was laying there like a little kid, shaking for many, many hours all by myself. But I did go through this and I could always catch myself when I was feeling like I lost myself. I can go in and just be with my awareness. But what I gained from this was I felt like I was 30 years, because I was 30 at the time. So I felt like I was 30 years lighter, like so much from my back
So
just went away. So I could say, like, the second time I thought that I was going to die, and I was like, I don't wish my worst enemy this experience. It was like that hard.
the,
But I
the good
was,
the
yeah.
good thing is that ayahuasca do not kill. So don't worry. Sorry, go on, bro.
No, but when you are in that place there,
I know, man. The feeling that you are dying is so
so
strong
familiar.
and scary. I know what you're saying.
But it did kill. It killed a lot of my ego, a lot of my things that I had stuck in my energy field from childhood, from past life. I felt that it went away. So, as we say, a little bit of ourselves needs to die every day. If the ego dies a little bit every day, we become more spiritual. All I can say is that it's an amazing plant. It's an amazing medicine, and I'm looking forward to start to work with it again because I had a break for many years, and I was like, I only need meditation now. I'm only going to do meditation now. But now the plant come to me again because the second time it came to me in my dream. And 2 days later, I was doing this ceremony close to my home, actually. So she came, and there was like this connection, and then was like I could go like the day after, 2 days after, right away to celebrate the New Year's Eve with this ceremony. So I always go by spirit, the intuition within. As when we connected, we get this great connection right away. So if what I can say by experience is, if the ayahuasca comes to you and you feel drawn to it, there is a connection that you may need to experience. There is something that should keep you and help you and heal within you.
It's for
But,
sure.
yeah, that's my experience of it. And but I can understand people don't know so much and then maybe have different things in mind about it. But I can say it's an amazing medicine.
Great. There's a
Yeah.
question here. I will answer these questions from P. Catre. How long time is the session effect going on? Well, depends on each one. Each body reacts differently to the medicine, but usually depends also the ceremonies. There are short ceremonies like 3-4 hours of ceremony. There are long ceremonies, which are the ones I like, 12-hour ceremony. So once you take a shot of ayahuasca, usually takes 20 to 30 minutes to get the effect. And depending on the concentration of the medicine, you can stay on the effect from 1 to 4 or 5 hours, and then the effects just go on. And if you feel, you can go for a second shot. I always recommend a second shot in a ceremony. Sometimes people get scared in the first experience on the first shot, and they do not take the second shot. And usually the gold is hidden on the second shot. So I always recommend second shot.
Yeah,
Also,
that was my experience was that I was so deep, and so I was like, I cannot take another shot. My mind was not ready for it.
I
You know,
always go.
you
Man,
know.
actually, when I do a long ceremony, like 12 hours, I usually take from 3 to 5 shots. Usually, the first shots I go for a regular shot, and all the others I go for a small shot just to maintain the frequency and stay in the ceremony on the same frequency of everyone. But there's something I would like to tell you regarding your two experience that you said you had the first experience, a very enlightened experience with full of light, full of love, beautiful things.
Mm.
And the second one you had like a dark ceremony, scary and all of this.
Mm.
What I usually say is that Mother Ayahuasca, she gives to you what you need to see. So
Mm.
if in that day of that ceremony you saw lights, you felt enlightened, because Mother Ayahuasca wish you to see that on that day.
Yeah.
And in the other day, if you saw downs, darkness, fear, scary things, it's because also Mother Ayahuasca wants you to see this other side of life. And
Mm.
why she bring those two different, so those two opposite sides of the journey of the experience is because we need to face both sides in life. We cannot just live in a world where everything is perfect, everything is love. It's
Mm.
like we were saying before, light and dark, there's a balance on it.
Yeah.
You can be the most enlightened person in the world, but also you have some shadows inside you that must be healed.
Yeah.
Nobody's perfect. If we were perfect, we would not be here as human beings. We just were in the spiritual plan, living there to help the other spirits that will come back to the earth, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. Very
Yeah.
true. So,
I had amazing dark experiences with ayahuasca in my life. And I would tell you that the dark experiences helps me to face the reality,
mm,
to face my ego, you know.
yeah,
And of course, I prefer much more the enlightened experience, full of light, where everything is amazing. But we really learn on the dark experiences to clean
mm,
up ourselves. Of course, after some years, after many ceremonies, you already cleaned so much in yourself that you start seeing much more enlightened experience than dark experiences.
I
And
understand.
that's the trophy you get facing this treatment, because
Mm,
ayahuasca is not one session of ayahuasca that will change your life. Like, it's not one session of meditation that will bring you to balance. I mean, it's like
yeah,
exercise, like go to the
mm,
gym. You need to exercise and gain muscles. In this case, I'm saying conscious muscles.
mm,
As much you treat yourself with ayahuasca, with other plant medicines. I'm not saying that ayahuasca is the only one. There are many other plant medicines, but once you face to treat your ego, to treat your conscious, and you are always keeping to work yourself. It's like gain muscles in the arms, but instead in the arms, you're gaining conscious muscles,
mm.
let's say.
Yeah, I totally get it. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Let me ask you. You have you work with many different kinds of techniques related to spirituality, like mantras transmission, healing retreats, yoga, ascension activation, and third eye activation, as well as you are a great musician.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed your music, but we have only 12 more minutes to finalize this live session. So I would like to ask you to tell a little bit about the third eye
Mhm.
activation, and if possible, to make with us, to show us how it is.
Yeah, of course. So, as yes, when we are doing an ayahuasca ceremony, we are activating this part. This part is, and this part is why you can see all those things that you see. So, but the thing is that we need to stabilize this energy because here's also the higher mind. And the higher mind is also connected to detachment and intuition. And as we know now, it's like sometimes we have the intuition and sometimes we are doubting ourselves. This is a very, very common thing. So you have one good day and you feel like on top of the world, you're so in tune with nature, and something happens and you just, whoa, the poor little self comes back and you start doubting yourself, doubting God, doubting everything. So this is due to that we have not developed this energy totally. But what I will do now is that I will transmit energy. I will, by my intention, send energy to everyone who is watching this. If you're watching it live, if you're watching the replay, it doesn't matter. The energy is not connected to time and space. So I will start to work with mantra and light language. To move, this will help to amplify the energy. So first, what I do first is that I shutting down your mind. And when I'm shutting down your mind, it's much more easier for the energy to come through. And then the energy will go here. So after the session is done, you need to lay down for 15 minutes to let the energy process into your body. Okay? So all I'm asking for is my permission to transmit energy to you, and that you want to receive. And that you close your eyes. You can sit or you can lay down. It doesn't matter. If you are sitting and it becomes too intense, you can just lay down. Okay? So if you can just close your eyes. And see if you can have your attention in the third eye, spot between the two eyebrows. Just hold your attention there. Om. 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 And now, with your eyes closed, just put your eyes up as you are watching the third eye with your eyes. Let your eyes go in a pyramid form, watching the third eye. And when you feel like it's becoming too intense, just drop the eyes again into normal position. Om Jusa Om Bhuvasvaha Om Trayambakam Jajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanat Mrityur Mokshyamamritat Om Swapurvur Om Saju Om 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 Jusa Om Bhuvasvaha Om Trayambakam Jajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva bandhanat mrikshur mokshyamamritat Om Swabhurbhur Om Saju Om 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 Juta Om Bhurbhuvasvaha Om Trayambakam Jajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva bandhanat mrikshur mokshyamamritat Om Swabhurbhur Om Saju Om Om. So now I will heat up the energy more. The energy will now become more intense in the third eye. Shalangaraya la karangiya vatihe. Achikutotoromboyo la karangiya saka. Chan 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 daraya kuwa piruhaye. Achikutotoromboyo lo koromboya kaye. Anchukutotoromboyo ko awaye. O chikutotoromboyo ko liaranko. Anchukutotoromboyo fulakarangiya ayata. Woliaran kayandaraya walankaya sakaraindia ko. Ambaraya ko ha chikurumbayo lakarenge he narangalangarea wandia wata hyundre lakani warambia tirengea he shirum folorokoni rankaya taro shirum boyotoni he sharandara lakare he ne he Om Shirumpoyo Foliran Kayato Chanti Chanti Chanti. Just feel this in the third eye. It's also cleansing the third eye, removing energies, toxins, which is hindering the connection with the third eye. Now, take a deep breath and come slowly, slowly back to yourself. And now, I recommend you to take 15 minutes for yourself and just let this energy integrate into your body. Thank you.
Thanks, my brother.
You're welcome, brother, and thank you so much for having me on this live. It's beautiful to you and all the souls who attended, and also you who watching in the replay mode. So yeah, we will now do a podcast for my podcast. So we will have an awesome interaction with more depth into the ayahuasca. So I'm looking forward to it.
I will connect to you in a few minutes. My
Yes,
brother, again, it was an honor to have you on this session with me.
thank
I
you.
feel blessed. I don't know what happened. I didn't cry, but some drops came out from my eye while you were doing the
Mm,
Turbi Activation. I mean, kind of
interesting.
purging through the eyes.
Yeah, yeah.
And thank you so much for this
You are welcome.
conversation.
And if anyone want to share their experience, they can just post it later on. And if they have any questions, they can just contact me or you regarding the medicine or what we do. They are
Yeah.
welcome to.
Well, let me just put here on the comments. Uh, so, if you want to write your Instagram there, please, I would thank you.
Yeah, of course. So you can find me on Shiva Siddhananda. I just
Yes.
maybe I should put his at thing here. So I now posted it there so they can just go in. So thank you all, dear souls, for connecting with us. I'm very happy to share my experience with my beautiful brother in life.
Thanks everybody for coming to watch our live session. And again, Shiva, God bless you and God bless you all that follow us. Thanks a
And
lot.
thank you. Goodbye. God bless.